So there are two different ways of installation. So let me walk you through. Once, okay, let me know when you guys are done with the insta download, so I'll come back to this demonstration around 10:15. Okay, I think everybody should be okay by that time, right? 10:15 should be good. So let me explain before
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Okay, so let me explain before that how what are the steps we're going to follow and what are the installation method. So there are 2 to 3 methods to perform the installation of operating system. One we call a clean installation. This is true for all kind of operating system, whether you're installing 7 or 10 or 8. So one format of operating system installation is clean installation. What I mean by clean installation means that you don't have any other operating system on your machine, and that is the first operating system on your machine. Then you install it as a main operating system, and we call it a clean installation. All you need to do, you connect and power on all devices, boot from the Windows Server installation DVD, select the language, time, currency, format, and keyboard layout, and then you click on install. So then you need to select the version, the edition of the server, right? So which edition you're going to install, and then you select the custom install window on advanced, right? Custom install, and then select the partition and choose your password. Okay. So for you in this situation, you also doing clean installation in a sense, because you're not doing it on physical machine. You will do the clean installation on VM, virtual machine. Okay. So what you're going to do, connect all power on your all devices. Your host machine is already on, so your virtual machine is going to be on later on. And then you boot your system from DVD. DVD is you downloading it ISO, International Standard Organization. Well, that has a big name, ISO. It's a big name in industry, in networking, in engineering, in IT, and many more places, manufacturing. So they have formatted the file which can be burned directly on DVD. The file you're downloading, that can be burned on DVD drive or CD drive. But as you're going to set up a virtual machine for Windows Server operating system, so this step will be done on virtual machine. You understand what I mean? Hmm? You understand what I mean, right? Clear? Hello? Well, that's terrible. Are you guys are there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ਉਹ ਵਿੰਡੋ ਇੰਸਟਾਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਵਰਚੁਅਲ ਹੋਸਟ
Okay. So, so what
ਵਰਚੁਅਲ
we
ਹਾਂਜੀ
so so you're going to set up the Windows on VirtualBox, right? That's going to be treated as in the steps would be
ਹਾਂਜੀ
same. The steps would be
ਕਿਵੇਂ
same.
ਬਣਿਆ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਉਹ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰ ਜਾ, ਉਸਤਾਦ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲੈਣ ਦੇ। ਆ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰ ਜਾ।
Okay. You know what? One time I'm telling you, I'm not going to repeat it. Whether you listen it to me, you pay attention, or you don't pay attention, that's your problem. Okay? Agree or don't agree upon it. Do you agree upon it? Right? When I'm explaining, you're doing something else, then I'm not responsible if you're going to uh, get lower grades and something like that. Okay, so what? Okay, so what I was telling you, you're going to follow those steps, right? The reason because we're going to do the clean installation on a virtual machine, and a virtual machine is saying, "Hey, I don't have any other operating system to run on it." So you're going to set them an operating system, so that's going to be treated as a clean installation. So all you need to do, you need to connect your ISO file to the virtual machine, and then you set up the language and all those simple parameters, time and currency, and then you hit the install button. Addition, which addition you're going to use in this program? Data center. Why data center? Because it supports virtual machine. Just in case if we need to add on some virtual machine uh, in our server on our server, then we can take that option. And then you're going to select the custom, and then you're going to select the partition, and then once installation completed, the password would be for your server because this is a server machine. So all we need to do, we need to have VM1, right? Which is your student ID, your first name, right? And the virtual machine name is server one, right? And then virtual machine two, student ID, first name, and then server two. And then you're going to create third virtual machine under name.
Ma'am, we can't see what you're writing.
Well, it says it's a sharing. Can I tell you one thing? As I found most of you people are like, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not sure about, but I'm feeling that you're doing something else. What I'm telling you. Uh, I have a full control here. Do you know that? Right? I can mute all of you with one click, right? But if I use that option, then I won't let you to unmute yourself. So you become just an speechless. I would be the only person who is allowed to speak. You like me to do that? Do you
Ma'am.
like me to do that? Hmm?
No, ma'am.
You want to be the speechless, or you want to be just giving me all the inputs? You're talking over phone, you're watching videos, you're having fun, other than what I'm explaining it, right? Then all I can do, I have to do my job done, right? All I can do, I can mute you all, and then I with an option to disable and mute you peoples. Then you won't be able to say any single word. I cannot hear anything from you then. I have a lot of controls here, but I'm just requesting you to control it at your side. You understand what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you can do the phone talk and watch TV, all those things. I'll give you some break time between, okay? 15, 20 minutes will be given for the break time. Then you can refresh yourself. Let's finish what we need to do. Then you can have some fun,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? So pay attention what I am trying to explain because I'm not going to give you the recording of those videos. Not at all. I don't have that option. Okay? So what I was telling you, do you agree with that or not? So finish it. What we need to do it first. You need some fun, and then you can come back and have some break in 20 minutes break and enjoy your refresh your body, your thought, or have some fun, and then come back, and then we will continue. Okay? Is that fine? Sounds okay or not? Or you want me to control everything from my side? Well, I'm leaving it open to you, right? It doesn't mean that I cannot do it. Okay, so the third virtual machine is student ID, first name, how it differs from two others, is going to be your client machine. So we would say client one. Maybe we need to have some other things later on, but not right away. Okay, so we need to set up three virtual machines. One is server one, running server 12 2012 operating system, and this is running also server 2012 operating system, and this is going to be a Windows 7 machine, Windows 7 operating system. Got it? Say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, please listen me, Muskan, and anybody else who has doubt. It's better to ask and clear the doubts, right? Rather than doing something absolutely wrong or which is not acceptable. Uh, Whether you have Windows 10 or you don't have Windows 10, irrespective of it, because I'm not going to touch your host machine, right? Because we need to do some configuration in terms of learning process, right? In order to achieve the course learning outcome. So we will keep our learn. This is our lab environment. We're going to set up our lab, right? So this will be our small network room which has two server and one client, right? So I want you not to disturb your host machine, whatever operating system you have it, whether you're running a Mac operating system or you're running in Windows 10 or Windows 7 or anything else. Okay. So just have those steps separate from your physical machine. So the configuration you're going to do it on those servers is not going to disturb your main host machine. This is your main machine, your host computer. I explained it yesterday, right? And I think many times since we have been meeting in this classroom, this is your host machine running Windows 10 or 7 or Linux, whatever. Okay? Correct? So once you install the VM on them and you set up the operating system there, it's not going to disturb your Windows 7 operating system. Configuration, everything, they're going to be separate. Exactly separate, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is how if you make some changes or you heard something or you made some you had some problems with your server, it's not gonna be reflected in your main operating system, which is Windows 10. Otherwise, it may hurt your machine. You may lose some information. Okay, that's how we can keep your system safe and isolated while achieving our goal. Right? Makes sense. All right, so all you ready with the download done? Okay. So what is next then? So those are the steps. I want you to, if you guys are ready, I can show you the steps what you need to do. Let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me do a quick thing. So can I ask you to put up your hand up? Put up your hands, digital hand, if you are ready for installation. Please put up your hand. Yes, how many of you ready? Just half of the class. This is what I'm getting an idea. Only half of you are attending class, or rest half is just I don't know where they are.
No, ma'am, it is still downloading.
It's still downloading. That's another thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Net
ma'am.
is.
That's not finished. So
Still downloading.
okay.
Ma'am, it
So
is in progress.
hmm? If it is
Ma'am, it
still
is downloading.
if it
Yes,
is
ma'am.
downloading, that's another thing, right? If it is still downloading, maybe your system like the speed and did you check your system configuration, right?
Ma'am, network problem.
Okay, check your system configuration as well, so you know how to check it. Please, go to your system under the system, right? Right click your Windows from your main machine, and there is in system. Right click Windows tab, and there's a system icon. So click on it. So when you click on it,
Ma'am,
you will.
I think it will not be downloaded in India.
Sorry. I didn't get what you said. Okay, so check the system configuration. You have a 64-bit system. You have to make sure. Otherwise, you're gonna hurt your machine if you don't know that information, right? Verify that. Write down somewhere or just remember what you have it, right? 16 gigabytes or whatever the memory size, and the processor is also important. If it is a 64-bit processor or 32-bit. Okay, so once you ready with this step and what we're going to do, um, you create a empty document, right? And you save it as lab one, and you're going to have those instruction what I posted under the lab one Dropbox, and have this heading lab one creating virtual machine and installing Windows, and save it under your name lab one. Like this. So have this empty document. So you're going to fill up all the steps there. Step one, step two, and so on. What is the step one? Well, I can wait for next 10 minutes. Okay. Should it be okay? What I suggest you, don't initiate both Windows 7 and Windows 12, because Windows 7, I think you should be okay to install it by yourself. Let me walk you through the step for Windows Server. So you can pause Windows 7 for a moment. So Windows 12 should be downloaded quickly. Okay, for the peoples who have some slower links, I suggest you disable or basically you can pause the downloading, right? So pause the downloading for Windows 7, so that your 2012 server can be downloaded at faster pace. Okay, so once you've done this part, it will ask you. Okay, I think I should wait for another minute.
Ma'am, how much storage do we have to allocate to Windows 7?
Okay, so by the time you are downloading, that's a good question. Okay, by the time you guys are downloading your server, okay, pause your Windows 7 download. Okay, so turn on your Oracle Virtual Box, click on it. So please follow my steps. Okay, turn on your virtual box. I think everybody can do that part, even if you have not done your downloading. So you all set? So you open your virtual machine. Are you on this page?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we need to do there, you know how to create a virtual machine, right? So please watch my steps, just in case if you forgot from your Linux machine. You go to the new machine and new. So go to the machine and say new. So what is your machine name? So your machine name, I have suggested, someone remember? What is your virtual machine name?
Yes, ma'am.
Student
Can you
ID
tell
first
us?
name.
Student
ID and first name.
Beautiful.
student name, ID, and
So student ID, right?
server one.
Student ID, and then your first name, and this is going to be your server one, right?
21, ma'am.
Right, so this is something you're going to enter in this space. Everybody should do that, please, irrespective if your downloading is completed or not. I'm writing here something. I don't have a student ID right away. Anyways, I can, if you don't mind, I can write like this. I have two servers. I'm going to say this is server 3. For me, it's for server 3. I have server 1 and server 2 machines there. Now, what is next? So, which type of machine it would be? So, you're going to say this is a Microsoft Windows, not a Linux machine, right? So, at this point, you're going to select the right machine type. So, you're going to use this version drop down box, and from drop down box, is it a 64-bit machine? You should find server 2012 there. Server Windows 8, Windows 8.1, server 2016, server Windows 2012 server, right? Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So select this one, 64-bit. Make sure that you have 64-bit system. You cannot install a 64-bit machine, right? So you have checked it already under the. I'm thinking that you have verified it already in your system configuration. And then once you have chosen those things, you like to change the virtual. This is the default machine box name, and then you say next. So you can keep this one default, right? This right now it is 2 GB, right? 2 GB of memory. Well, I can afford it 2 GB of memory, right? Because well, I have 16 GB of memory, so minimum requirement is 512. So just in case if you don't have that much memory available, so you can reduce the size of the memory, okay? 512 is minimum. So I can say next. So create a virtual hard disk. Create a virtual hard disk. Select and then create. Virtual disk. So go by default. Say next. Say dynamically allocated. Say next. Are you on this page?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, say next. Now this is the point where your file is residing, right? So you can just say create. So your file has been created. A virtual machine has been created under this name, what you had as assigned there. Okay. So repeat this step one more time, but this time you're going to say new. And this time server 1, not server 1, student ID and first name not going to change, dash server 2, S2 for server 2. Okay. I want the names to be organized like this. And then again you pick the server 20. If you don't pick the right operating system for this virtual machine, your virtual machine not going to be accepting Windows operating system server type. Okay, so you have to select, you have to choose the right operating system. What you're going to tell the virtual machine, hey, I'm creating this machine for server 2012, or I'm creating this machine for Windows 7. So once you have created and follow along the same procedure of what you have did for the first server, then you're going to do the third machine, and third machine is going to be Windows 7. Now you have an option of Windows 7 32-bit or 64-bit. You may select 32-bit if you like, or 64-bit. That's your choice. If you have enough resources, so you can select 64, or you go with the 32-bit. 32-bit Windows 7. So this is going to be your student ID again, first name dash client dash CL client one. Okay, so that's how you're going to create three virtual machines, empty machines, empty machine. Those machines are just in if someone has purchased an computer but doesn't have any operating system yet there. Okay. Okay, once if you guys done up to here and you're ready for the next step, or you want me to wait for a few more minutes.
Ma'am, actually, I already have installed the Windows Server once on a VMware, and can I keep using the VMware software instead of Oracle?
So you set up all your like you said that you have you are
No,
also
no, ma'am.
working. Huh?
I have just installed it once before on VMware. So can I just keep working on the VMware software?
Well, I'm using VirtualBox, right? So because it is free, and that is I have VMware as well, but I'm not using it for this course. The reason because I figured out that that's a license, as it's a licensed product, so you might not have the licensed version of the VMware, right?
No, ma'am, I have the licensed one.
Okay, so if you have the licensed version, you take the responsibility how to manage, how to troubleshoot it. Yes, you can. If you take the responsibility.
For sure.
Because I would be demonstrating under the virtual machine, virtual box. So if you feel comfortable doing it at your like it may have some little concern and issues. I may not be able to look at the individual concern at that point, like VMware problems. So that's your call. You choose it. You choose it.
No, ma'am, I actually am pretty comfortable with the VMware.
That's okay. Well, I like VMware for myself as well, but I force myself to adopt it in favor of most of the class. You know. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we had three machines ready, right? So one says server one, server two, and another says client one, correct? Now it's a time to set up the operating system, right? So if you have already set up, who was talking? I know the name. Who was talking earlier?
Manvir, ma'am. Manvir.
Maldeep.
Manvir, ma'am.
Mahavir, okay.
Manvir, ma'am. Manvir.
I cannot see.
Manvir, ma'am. MANNVER.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. So then you need to have some screenshot Manveer for the lab to submit and grade you. If someone's verbally tell me, Bushra, I have completed it, but I need to grade you, right? You need to give me a proof that you have completed.
Yeah, ma'am. But do I have to screenshot like window working or like a VMware?
Well, I posted under the Dropbox. Please check the Dropbox instruction.
Okay, ma'am. So I have to install the Windows Server twice and once and Windows 7 once.
Yes, I need the proof with the steps and screenshot you have followed along. So
Ma'am, can I share my screen with you? I just want to ask something.
Who is this?
Arjun.
Arjun?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened, Arjun?
Ma'am, I'm just installing the Windows 7 one. It's just
don't install anything until I ask you. Okay.
No, ma'am, in the Oracle, I'm just installing the Windows 7 one. When I just go to on the installation part, just telling me the errors.
Yes, it tells you tons of errors because I need to tell you how to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So I'm just waiting for the other people's you all set, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you want me to walk you through the steps?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please put up your hand? So because tomorrow or Monday, Thursday, you come back, Bishra, I didn't install it. I couldn't do that. I have XYZ in ABCD error. So I cannot just keep repeating it. And I don't have enough time to look at everybody's computer as well. So I just want to make sure maximum number of people's are ready for demonstration to follow.
Yes, ma'am.
So please put up your hand. I see only 30 people are agreed, and just like all the time, half 50% says yes, and 50% just stay quiet and like to stay quiet. Maybe they're busy on phone, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, please participate in this poll if you all set. Okay, so okay, 40 people are good enough for me to. It's enough energy I can get from 40 peoples, and rest of the peoples they may ask help from their friends. Okay.
Okay,
All
ma'am.
right. So let me share my screen, and you just slowly watch, follow the steps. What I'm not going to do something strange, something like in kind of going on Mars or something like that. Not really. Okay. All you need to do, select the virtual machine. Go to the setting. And under the setting, you go to the storage. Are you on this page, right? And then you go to the empty. There you see the circular blue disk. This is your DVD, virtual DVD. Everything is virtualized, virtual class, virtual machine, virtual DVD, virtual CPU, right? So you select this empty. Well, we used to work with virtual machine, whether we are working in physical class or in virtual class. It's not the point that we are working because we are in physical class with virtual machine. Now you're going to click on this link, right side, the circular blue thingy, right? So you're going to click on it. So choose a disk. So now you're going to take it to the point where you had just downloaded your server 2012, right? Okay, so select it, say okay. Now start your machine. So you double check it, where does it to be located. And it started. Follow along the on-screen instruction. So you are on this page, right?
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am.
Correct? You got this page?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the clean installation. So you select the country, United States, language, English, keyboarding. I'm going to keep it as default. Install now. Hmm. Guys asking for activation. Really? Hmm.
And just do next. Just don't enter anything.
Yeah, this should work like that. Maybe I selected.
You have selected the wrong file.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. I have selected the one which requires.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
let me go back. So you should be okay because you have
You
Yes,
have
ma'am.
selected.
selected the next
You
one.
guys should be, yeah, guys should be okay because I have selected the like an licensed version. Let me go back and select it again. Let me change it up. Hmm. One second, I'll be right back. I will share my screen in a few minutes. Wait to change off. Okay, so you are on this page, right? Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what you going to select here? The standard, the four versions we talked yesterday, right? So you're going to select the server data evaluation or data center. No. Score, we will do it later. At this point, you're going to set up GUI-based data center. So select the Windows Server 2012 data center evaluations server with a GUI. Okay. Say next. Have to accept knowledge base. Next. Well, that's not a bad choice anyways. So you're going to select which one? What do you think? First one is good or second one is good?
Second one, ma'am.
Second
Maybe
one is
first
good.
one.
Okay, why first one? Well, the first one is for the people who has already server installed on their machine, like Windows Server 2008, right? 2008 version. They might have it installed on their machine and they need to upgrade it to the new version for their era, in their era from 2008 to 2012. But that is not the case in your scenario. So what you're going to do, you're going to select system install. So you need to take this screenshot, okay? At least from the first two, and then you're going to take the screenshot and let me tell you know how to take the screenshot? Do you know how to take the screenshot?
Yes, ma'am.
How to do that?
Print screen.
Print the screen. Print the screen. Okay. I'm going to teach you some
Ma'am,
tools.
since we're doing this
You
along
have-
with you, so we have to repeat it so we can get the the screenshots. Since we're doing it along with you, would we have to repeat it again to get the screenshots?
No, you just do it the screenshot now. Just finish the lab now. So take this, go to the snip tool, snip and sketch, right? The snipping tool. So this snip tool is very useful. How to use? Click on it. You don't like to work with me, do you? You said I'm working with you, so I cannot take this like that.
Installation completed, ma'am.
Okay. So I take this one also included. Let me minimize them. So new screenshots, and this is you're going to take this screenshot from the laptop. You understand what I mean? Laptop.
Windows Server कौन सा choose करना है?
Laptop
Data
corner
center
when
या
you're
standard?
taking is includes your virtual machine. If I don't see your virtual machine name, I
Standard
cannot
evaluation use करना है या data center evaluation?
this way. And then
मांगा था जब हमने
you just one at
एक
least
मिनट.
one or two steps, and then you say here you finish your lab now. At least the server one installation. There
क्या?
font size should be smaller.
कहाँ से मांग रहा तेरे पास ये समझ मांगा ही नहीं तूने कुछ गलती की
Okay, I'm gonna say
मांगा था भाई.
installing. Okay, virtual machine, create virtual machine, creating virtual machine, creating. Oops.
Wait.
Number one, creating VM for server one, right? So what you're gonna do? So as you have already created, let me save this first. I think let me save this space.
Ma'am, just a clarification. We had to install the data center or standard evaluation?
Data center.
Okay, thank you.
Data center with GUI support.
Okay.
Okay, so all you need to do, so you have created 3 virtual machines in one client, right? So you go to the snip, new snip, in empty machine, right? So like this.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. So
Ma'am, you can use the step recorder option in Windows.
okay. How to
It
do that?
will search step recorder in Windows menu.
Okay, so you do it, please. Go ahead and do it. So you do this one and you get to this one. Uh, this one, right? So creating server 1, server 2 in client mode, right? So you don't need to show me all the steps you have taken. Just the end product that it shows that you have server 1 here, server 2 here in your client machine. So all I need to verify this is under your name, okay? Okay. So what is next then? So you have completed your installation, you said, right? Okay. So let's you have recorded this and pasted in your lab document. So it's copying the files, all those kind
For
of
my
things,
storage,
you
it
know.
showed 32 GB, not 50.
Huh? Your memory is 32 GB. That's okay if you have good memory. Bhavesh, please mute yourself.
Ma'am, I'm mute.
Yeah, some people have their pets and they those pets don't like to set up the Windows server, you know. They're gonna bark, right? What you doing? Why are you doing this? Give me my food. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct? Okay. Let it be finished.
And we have to do the same process 3 times.
For server 2 times, in for client machine is different. Client machine installation is different. Servers you need to repeat one more time.
Okay, ma'am.
We need 2 server machines for this lab. Those purposes, because we're going to
storage on
interact
the
with
मेरा
each
32
other.
GB
Those
शो
servers
ਕੀਤਾ
going
ਸੀਗਾ
to
50 नहीं
communicate with each other.
मैं ਕਿਹਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਰਵਰ
So
ਇੰਸਟਾਲ
it's
ਕੀਤਾ
going
ਸੀਗਾ
to restart. Password I'm going to
ਜਦੋਂ
give
ਆਪਾਂ
you.
ਸਰਵਰ ਇੰਸਟਾਲ
Standard
ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ
password for whole class.
ਸਟੋਰੇਜ
Okay.
ਨਹੀਂ ਸ਼ੋ ਕਰਦਾ 50 GB
At
ਮੇਰਾ
this
32
point, you're
GB
going
ਸ਼ੋ
to
ਕੀਤਾ
create
ਸੀਗਾ ਓਨਲੀ ਕੋਈ
username and
ਇਸ਼ੂ ਤਾਂ
then
ਨਹੀਂ
so you can remove it anyways. It's asking you remove the CD just like you had it, attach it to your virtual optical disk, so you can delete it or you can remove it and make it
ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ
empty again. Otherwise,
ਸਰਵਰ
it's going to
ਇੰਸਟਾਲ
give you
ਕਰਦੇ
this
ਹਾਂ
prompt
ਮੈਂ
message.
ਉਹਦੇ ਸ਼ੋ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ 50 GB ਮੇਰਾ ਸਿਰਫ 32 GB ਸ਼ੋ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕੋਈ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ
Okay, what you're going to do on this page, please make a note. Password is this. This is the password. P. I'm writing here on my slide. You see my screen, right? So password is going to be what you're going to enter here. Your password is, everybody has some password. Just make a unique password. SSW0RD. Okay? Because
can we continue without password?
The reason, it's verifying the required standard of server password. Server password cannot be just as simple as we can have anything which can be easily manipulate, remember, right? It has a special character, it has a digit, it has a capital letter, and a minimum length of 20 characters. Minimum one, how many characters? 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minimum length is also verified. Eight characters, right? More than eight is good. So I encourage you to, or suggest you, it makes things easier. I'm telling you, because 100 times you need to enter password, many times, and I won't server won't allow you to skip the password because it's a sensitive machine. Okay, so why don't we have one standard password so we can help each other what it was, just in case if you forgot, because you have to reset the machine then, right? Correct. Well, you are the boss on your computer. I have no control on it. Okay, so you enter the password.
Thank you, ma'am.
uh, WO0RD. Let me check if I enter the right one. PASSWORD sounds good. So verify it.
Ma'am, we can't see your screen.
Sorry. When I switch between different application, it's auto turn off the screen share. I think so. There's the assumption. Okay. PASSW. Oops, not those many W. PASSWORD. Let me check. Sounds like it. Otherwise, it will warn you that it's not matched. So we are in. Congratulations. You got this page? So what is next? The screenshot. So next screenshot is snip new, and this time don't forget to include your virtual machine tab. Okay, I need this kind of a screenshot, and then we're going to place it here, server 1. VM server 1, right? So you put it there. It shows this is server 1, your name, something like this. And once you completed this procedure, you're not done with log yet. So if you hit Control Alt Alt T, that's a default key combination to log into this your Windows operating system, right? But in virtual machine, try it and let me know how does it work. You try this key combination to log into your machine. Yes. Control Alt Del key will take you on your host machine, this page, right? You understand what I mean? Control, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
If you hit Control Alt Del key, I'll take you on your host machine task manager or login screen. So all you need to do, there is a two control keys on your keyboard, right? One is on the left side and another is the right side, right? So you're going to use the right side control and Del key. Then you can get this login screen on your virtual machine. If it is a physical server, then you can go with Control Alt Del key combination. Then you're going to enter the password you set it up just now. So it's the first time you turn on your server. Congratulations. So this is server dashboard.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
And we have to install Windows 7 and Windows Server to.
Correct. So let me finish this part first. So local server, you click on local server. You click on this tab which says computer name. So again, you're going to enter your student ID, your first name, dash first name, no dash, just first name, right? First name and then your first name, right? I mean, and server one. I'm writing here for myself. That is server 3 for me. Apply and OK. So you enable a few more things. Remote desktop, enable it. So remote desktop will allow this machine to be accessible from other machine, right? So nick theming you can also enable. That's a kind of troubleshooting, right? So we use this one to just in case if one network adapter fails, then another network adapter from the cluster will work. IPv4 you can leave it for now, right? So as I change the computer name, so something different, so I have to restart the machine. Okay, I'm going to restart it. So you can hit the control, right control and Del key and then restart your machine. Well, it's a server, so it always asks you, we will work on in lab, where you can disable the switch. It always asks you why you are restarting the server, because disconnecting server means you're disconnecting users from the network. So server need to know the reason of restart or shutting down. But you can remove this one CD from your optical disk, and then control down. Password. You are in here. Okay. So you're going to go into the local server. This is the dashboard, right? You will learn it step by step. You can explore, you can play. That's your machine now. Uh, doesn't cheat really? Should be. Did I not hit the change button? Hmm. Oh, okay. Like made a mistake. Sorry. So you have to change it here. Keep this over group, right? We will join this machine to domain later. For now, you can say it's server group. So domain requires to set up DNS server, which we will do it later. Say okay and close and restart it, kind of thing. Okay, I'll be right back in 1 minute. So what you're gonna do, you log into your computer again, your virtual machine, right? Server machine. And go to the local server. You can enable nickname as you like, but you need to provide another adapter name, theme interface. Anyways, we will do it later if required. So you enable remote desktop, so you can manage this machine remotely. What other options are available? Date and time. So you go there. It says 8 o'clock, right? It's US time. So I have 11 o'clock here. So you go to your adjust date and time and change date and time according to the correct one. Today is 11th and the time is I have 11 o'clock. Right. 11 date and 11 o'clock. Awesome. What a coincidence. So save it. Well, US Canada time zone, I'm okay with this. So you check at your time zone. So check the connectivity of internet is connected right now. So you can go to the Explorer as well, right? So there is a few things like you can go to your Windows from here, or you can just click on it. So then this is your start, just like you have Windows 10 or anything else. But there are some additional tools like Server Manager. We will be working with Server Manager, PowerShell, administrative tools. You can check control panel just like that, the control panel of your Windows operating system, right? So you have Windows 10 or something like that. So it's the same control panel, pretty much same. You can check the connectivity if you like. So there's some security setup you need to do. It's asking about system security setup. No, I don't like to add this one. Alright, so you like to purchase Surface. They're advertising for Surface. Less, really? I thought it's selling for $130. Surface is expensive. Yeah, it's more than $1,000. I thought if it was selling for $130, so I would be the first one to purchase.
It's ma'am $130 off.
It's yeah, it is $130 off, not $130 or not for one.
Yeah, I was just going to say that only.
So back to school sale, right? So you check it out if you like something there. Well, it's not my website. I'm not in this business. Anyways, so you close it, and all you need to do is set up your time. You set up your time zone, right? And I want you to take the screenshot of this line on the screen which shows your name there. Okay? Your computer name. Like this. So take one more screenshot for this server. And you may or may not include your I think this one. Oops. You may or may not include your virtual machine header, but this time I would say include take the screenshot in a way that while it's asking run me. Okay, I'll check it out. Oops. Let me edit it. Okay. So new, and then take the screenshot in a way that I can see your name and the time you have changed it to the current time. Okay. Otherwise, if you may lose your mouse, not following the pattern. something. So server one, server one. This number is step 4, right? So server one with computer name changed. This one I definitely needed, right? If you don't like me to give this step, but you should give me this one and those two, right? I have to see that you have set up your server. I have to see that you have set up 3 virtual machines. Now, give me this similar screenshot for other 2 machines, right? 7 and repeat this step. 7, Windows 7 should be fine. It's just pretty straightforward. This is also straightforward, no complication. Is there any complication? There was any complication in doing this installation? You all set? Hopefully, whether you say yes or no, I am expecting that you all set. Correct?
No, ma'am.
Really? What happened? What happened? Now you're not gonna tell me, right?
Copying
Maybe
Windows
you are the
file.
one who was on the phone when I was explaining. You know? Alright.
It's copying Windows file, ma'am.
Huh? It is?
Copying Windows file.
Which Windows? Windows 7 you're working on?
No, ma'am.
No, man, they are saying they are still in the installation process.
Okay. Should be okay. Should be okay. It's not a big deal. It's, well, maybe your system. Did you check your system? You know, system. If you haven't checked it, make sure that it is compatible for server 12. Otherwise, it's gonna do for whole day. It's gonna take whole day to do one job. All right. So I'm going to shut down this server this way. Power off. And shut down that machine. All instances. Okay. So save your work. So how many of you are good up to here? Put up your hand.
And can you show us what screenshots do we have to provide?
Good question. That's a good question. Let me share my screen one more time. I have mentioned in under the D12 Dropbox. One thing is, just in case if someone missed me at this point, right? So you go to your Dropbox and there is an information. So you will find
No, ma'am, I meant like at which point in D12 it just mentioned like a screenshot of Windows Server. Like at which point do we have to take the screenshots? Like during installation or a screenshot of the desktop?
Well, I need not all steps for installation. Definitely, you followed along those steps, then you can reach to this, right? Give me one screenshot of your all virtual machine set. Can you see? So creating VM for server 1, server 2, and client 1.
Okay.
So server 1, server 2. Under your name, student ID, and client 1. Okay, and once you have created virtual machine, you show me the installation step, one of the step. Any, like I have taken the screenshot, but when you're taking the screenshot, don't just take this one as you have it on my PowerPoint slide, right? So you see my PowerPoint slide, this is the small clip, right? But I want to see that it's coming from your machine, right? And then it is done. This is the end product for server 1, right? And then give me this screenshot, initial one, some step of your installation. on server 1, end product of server 1, and log in your server, and you have changed your computer name, and you have changed the timings.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so make those changes, restart your server, and then take the screenshot again. In a way, you may or may not include your virtual machine header at this point, but you should have take the screenshot after changing your computer name, says your student ID, whatever format I had provided there under the Dropbox, and then do change your time and your zone, right? It should match our current running time. All right, so save it under the lab 1, your name, something like this. Should be good. Say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, so lab 1, I'm saying this is Bushra lab 1. So I save it on my C drive, just in case if you need for me to show it again. I cannot definitely repeat the whole steps again, because it's gonna kill the time again, if you ask me to repeat this whole thing, it's gonna take another hours, which is going to be just a waste of time for other people's. Okay, so all set with the operating system, hopefully. if you like to have a break at this point.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just verify that you are done with the server 1. If you are done with server 1, you can have a break. No?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so have break irrespective of you're done or not, you're under the process. Refresh yourself, and it's around 11:20. We come back after 15 minutes. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Environment. So if you make an upset lab environment because it is Sunday and you're thinking so many other stuff, your friends and your siblings and your family members, well, you cannot. I'm not saying kick them out, all of them. Hey, I'm studying, don't disturb me, right? It doesn't mean that. So let them to do what they want to do, and do what you need to do. You have to do, right? That's your commitment. Agree? If you keep thinking, hey, they are having fun and I'm doing it, she's asking us to set up the operating system, that's not fair.
Sorry, ma'am, for that.
Oh, it's not a point of sorry. Sorry, it's just to get it done. It's a simple 10 minutes job. Only thing is you have your file downloaded. I think it's 9 o'clock was, and this is almost 2 hours past. Should be good enough time to download it for any kind of slower system. I think 2 hours should be okay for every kind of system. As I mentioned, it took for me 10-15 minutes to download because I had a little faster system, fortunately, and a good network connection, fortunately. And you have also those kind of things, I think so, but the only difference is you make the use of it. Okay? That's the thing. Okay, just let me know if you need any other help. Okay, if you stuck to a point and it's not moving on, if it is stuck to a downloading file, or I said that you just download one at a time. Don't initiate to download at your side, because might be your system, your network connection won't afford it that load. Just like you ask someone to bring two bricks from one place to another, right? That's going to be heavier. So take one at a time. So let the internet connection to download one at a time. That's a heavy file, big file. Anyways, it shouldn't take that much time. Let me know if you are stuck to a point. I can help you further today. Today, yes. We have plenty of time. I can look at your problem if you like me. Okay. So Sunday means no installation. Okay, I had given you plenty of time. Should be good by whole week. Try to finish it during this setting. At least one server should be ready. And just few steps. No complication, no skyrocketing. You don't have to take a rocket to launch. You don't have to launch a rocket to go to the Mars. It's not kind of that long, right? It's simple. It's a 2012 server. It's an 8 years and 9 years old operating system. You know.
I'm still making space, ma'am.
Space, yes, that's another thing. What I can suggest you if you're running out of space corridor on your hard disk. Is that the
Yes,
problem?
ma'am. Yes,
What I
ma'am.
can, okay, that's gonna happen, you know. Well, if you don't have space and you can spend a lot of time to make space, well, what I can suggest you when you create the virtual machine, you can have lower space there for a virtual machine setup, right? You don't have to go with the default values what it initiate you or giving you a suggestion. Hey, can you go with this default value? So you can have some little lower values of the disk space. Try to adjust. Or another thing I can just suggest you have an external hard drive. Plug in a USB hard drive and have your all those kind of things set up there in virtual machines. Install your Oracle VirtualBox in hard drive, and you can plug in that hard drive whenever you have this course class or you're
Okay,
working on
ma'am.
that. That's gonna, yeah, because otherwise, you know, I don't know what software is important for you and what is not. How much total space you have?
My C drive's like 67 gigs, and it's just 1.55 gigs left.
1.5 gig. That's gonna be smaller
Yes, ma'am.
because
Excuse me, ma'am.
it requires room.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'll just clean it up.
It requires room to run the operating system once it is installed. Yes. Well, you can
Yes,
have
ma'am.
an alternate solution. You can plug in an external drive even in your system, whatever you feel comfortable. Anyways, yes,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes.
Ma'am, whenever I click Control Alt plus Delete, my computer sign out. My main Windows.
Yes, I think yes, it's gonna happen. You know, let me repeat it again. Um, share screen. This is the new machine I set up with you. Um, Okay, the people who have the question, Control Alt Del he kicked me out of the machine, right? It is true because it is for your host machine, for physical machine, not for the virtual. For virtual has a you have two control keys, right? One is
Yes,
on your left side, and another is the right side of the spacebar.
yes,
Right?
ma'am.
Whatever vendor keyboard you are using, it is international standard. So right side control key, you click on it. You use the key combination control right side, control and del key. You're gonna be on this login screen.
Ma'am, I have to use right side control key and
Delete key, just two key combination.
okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, it is better to ask, right? So, and clear the problem rather than you stay quiet. Yeah, I have no miracle to know what's going on at your side.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. What's up?
I don't have a control key on the right side.
Hmm. How many control keys do you have?
I only have one control key on the left.
You're using which type of what is the machine? Is it an Apple machine?
Yes.
Use that one. Control and Del key.
That may it don't work.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe it's asking for configuration of local server. Is there anything which I have to do?
Configuration of local server.
Configure this local server.
Not really. Not really. Not at this point. This is the basic thing like changing computer name when you log into the computer. This is appears, right? This is appears when you log into computer. You are on this page, right? So you are on this page.
I have logged in, ma'am.
Okay. So you cancel this one when it's asking you why did you restart? Just cancel it and go to server manager. This one you see here.
Yes, ma'am.
Blue rack, and this is what we call server
Suitcase.
manager. Yes, this is suitcase. This is basically manager, Mr. Manager. We call it server manager.
Okay, ma'am.
So it manages all the tasks on server. That's a GUI interface. So there is one charm as well. You can get to the charm if you like. You go to the local server and there is no configuration required at this point. It won't ask you to do it automatically until unless I ask you to do some configuration. So there's a computer name. So all you need to do, click on it and change this computer name according to the instruction. Change it and restart your computer. And then you also change the time according to your local time.
Okay, ma'am.
And all done, then once you come back on this screen, then you take the screenshot. That's good enough for the first server, and then you can repeat it for the server too. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. One
Actually,
server is 2012 and one is Windows 7.
Okay, let me clarify what I tried explaining since I start this course with you. Server Windows 7 cannot be a server.
No, I am saying about the machines, virtual
Yes, yes.
machines.
About the virtual about the virtual machine. Um, so one virtual machine is your one virtual machine is your server one. Another virtual machine is your server two, and third virtual machine is your client one.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am. Okay.
and so those are the suffix, but before that it is your student ID and first name. Under your student ID, first name server 2 dash server 1 student ID and kind of things. Okay,
Got it,
for
ma'am.
all, okay, all the three machines. So
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
among them there are two server and one client. Client is Windows 7. Server 1 is your server 2012. Server 2 is also server 2012. Okay. Actually, real party having here in my neighborhood. They are having party there. So that's why. But you cannot hear their voices, correct?
No, we can't
We
hear, but
can.
we can enjoy that with the hearing also.
they have their guests in and they're just having fun together. Anyways. So any other question? Okay, let me tell you some of this stuff under this topic. Um, I think you are okay, all okay, right? I can feel. You all quiet means you're working on it, right? So let's get to the other concept under this topic quickly. Uh, I can turn off my virtual machine. Yes. Uh, well, name is would be your name, right? Your student ID and your name. When you change your computer name, I don't know why it's jumped to go off. Oops, it's behaving strange. Let me turn this position off. with this one, right? So this one. So you change your computer. This is under your name, right? Under student ID kind of things. Because I'll ask you to do a couple of things every week. In 50, 60 students, how would I identify it's coming from you or from somewhere else, some other computer, right? So that's why I'm asking you to set up this lab according to the way, so we can make things convenient and accessible from both ends. This is the point where you click it on this point, right, on your server manager, and there you can enter. Can you hear me? Your voice is very, very
Yes, ma'am.
slow. Yeah, I don't know. But I barely hear get your point. Anyways, if you can raise your volume, I think I can understand. Anyways, you're asking for how to change, so you click on it. So this is the computer name is default name, some Win00 something like this, right? That is the Windows default name. Some numbers are there. So you're going to change this default name under your student ID once you click on it, right? So you enter your student ID, first name, the same virtual machine name, right? First name in server 1, and then repeat it for server 2. And under Windows 7 you also do the same thing. You want me to show it again on my computer, or you get to understand it, right? Get it? All right, so sorry, your volume is too low to understand or listen here. Okay. Is this wrong? Something with my side. I think I have full volume here. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
okay. Awesome. So, let's get to the next step. Okay, so you have set up your Windows server. You have set up the password there. The password is suggested is I'm repeating PASS. This is what I have suggested. Okay, try to keep it. It's gonna be helpful. So this is the one method you adapted, which we call the clean installation. Clean installation means you use the DVD, but in case you use virtual DVD here. Anyways, it was DVD, right? Virtual, because ISO file was there. So ISO file is a file which burns on DVD, right? It's a DVD file format or CD file format. So you followed those steps, you selected custom install, and then you selected your hard drive space. And hard drive space is your call, how much you so select default setting is there. So see if default setting is good for you, otherwise you have to check your resources. And then now there is another method of installation. There are three methods of installation. This is one of the method you all adapted. The other method is third party. Okay, one more thing before I tell you other methods is the driver installation, right? So if there are some drivers are missing, you may need to install some third party driver installation. if it says like keyboard not found or mouse not found or some device driver is not working, well, you can check it and under the control panel, and all the devices are going fine there. So there is you don't have to have an any additional driver install at this point. So this partition, you can create and manage and delete the partition on your hard drive. So click the drive option and the four buttons will be appeared there, whether you like to delete it, extend it, format it, or new. So you can manage those things. I'm gonna turn it on again. So you have changed your computer name under local, right? So you get to the local and you have changed your computer name by clicking this option and change, and here you also change and also change it here, and then you will start your computer. You need to see your drive options. So you go to, this is your whole computer, just like a virtual machine, right? So what you have it in an host, it is free. Some resources have functions. So computer has a C drive, DVD drive. This is all optical. So you get there, get into the properties. So you would see there are format options, right? So there's a share options. You can make your hard drive shareable. You can format it. You can copy. You can rename, or you can just do some partition, right? So you can get into the property of the hard drive. And there are options like in this too, right? So you can check, share, other things you can do from your server manager. So there are disk management utility, right? So you can check with the disk management utility. So this is the place where you can change and adjust. What is the type of the disk? NTFS, new technology file system. So this is a
ਵਧੀਆ ਦੋਸਨਾ
system, and that's the partition it has. It's telling you the information.
ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਰੁਪਏ ਇਧਰੋਂ ਵੀ
partition and primary partition. So you anytime you can change the partition.
लात है बहुत सही है
Partition using this disk management utility. So you
और
can
यार
delete, extend, format, and new partition there.
ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈੱਡਫੋਨ ਆ ਉਹ ਲੈਪਟਾਪ ਚਲਾਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ
Hard
ਵੋਲਿਊਮ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਆ ਫੋਨ ਦੀ
had an option when you were selecting when you were on this.
ਇੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਫਿਲੀਪੀਨ ਚ ਬਥੇਰੀਆਂ ਗਰਲਫ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ
Installation, where I have taken the screenshot.
ਇੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਦੇਖੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ
This one, right? This one.
ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਲੈਣ ਦੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਈ
Basically has an option to delete, format, change,
ਕਿਵੇਂ
perhaps some new partition.
ਕਿਵੇਂ
Installation. You want to install.
ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਯਾਰ
How you want to install your software on a new partition, yes, you can. You want to load some driver, yes, you can come and delete some partition when you're doing your Windows setup. You can do
ਫਿਲੀਪੀਨਸ ਨੇ
that
ਇੰਡੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਨ ਕੀਤਾ
other
ਹੋਇਆ
setting points. And you have also the performance
ਉਹ ਇੰਨਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਧੱਕਾ
cleanup setting, right? So you get to the setting options and you can enter your password. Is keep
ਨਹੀਂ
try
ਨਹੀਂ
to
ਇੰਨਾ
keep
ਨਹੀਂ
the
ਹੁੰਦਾ
password what I had suggested. Another thing I'm telling you, um, other installation
ਉਹ
method.
ਕੱਢਣਾ ਹੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੈਂ
So
ਉਹ ਵੀ
this
ਨਾਲ
is
ਹੀ
one
ਸੀਗਾ
of the method you are done, which is we call the GUI based installation, GUI based version, right? Uh, graphical graphical user interface,
ਉਹਦਾ ਕਢਾਉਣਾ ਹੀ
because
ਸੀ ਉਹਨੇ
there is
ਉਹਦਾ
a
ਮੁੰਡਾ
server
ਵੀ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ
manager,
ਸੀਗਾ
right? Server manager is basically there, and there are a lot more graphical options there, which helps you to manage your server tasks. Everything is graphical there, right? So this is what we call server manager or graphical user. And this is the graphical user. It's where we can see and just click and do our task, right? So another method of installation is server core. That's very interesting. You know what I mean by server core? That's basically a stripped down version of the operating systems and takes you to a graphical user interface. And all you need to do, whatever task you need to perform, you need to manage your network tasks using this Windows operating system. So that's why we are using this operating system, right? So all you need to do, you need to type in the commands, and the command prompt then it will perform the job for you. Okay, so how the server core looks like. This is also Windows Server 2012 release 2, but the difference is it only has this command prompt, right? So you can have this command prompt also at this point without removing this GUI interface here. You know how to get to the CLI option or command prompt option of your operating system, right? So you can, this is the PowerShell. This is PowerShell utility. We'll use it later in this program. PowerShell is a kind of command line utility which helps the network administrator to manage the network tasks rapidly. So another thing which you are familiar with, if you call it command prompts, CMP, from your run window. So this is what we call the command prompt, right? So CLI window. It's a DOS prompt. And that was the initial version, as I had given you the review of the older operating system. What we have it before the Windows, we have DOS, right? So Microsoft kept this DOS in background running. Initial operating system before the Windows. So it keeps them running. Microsoft kept that version. But in core operating system, core version of a server, that is the only window available for the network admin to perform any task, creating accounts, managing share, checking network connectivity. Everything is need to be done on this window. So it's more technical to handle the command line window, because you have to memorize all the commands you need to perform, right? You need to run. So the difference is it makes for network admin, experienced network admin prefer to use it because it helps to expedite the big job to be done rapidly or quickly, or the job which need to be repeated. So you can use this that repeated job under this command line server core machine, right? So I'll ask you to set up the server core later in this course, but not today. So we can change one of the servers and strip off their graphical interface, just like the decoration, right? So someone bring a gift to you, have a lot of decoration and wrapping on it. So if we remove all the decoration, wrapping and flowers and all those things, what comes under, that's a nutshell actual thing, right? So this is exactly happens in core version of the server. So we strip off all the graphical user interface and looks like beautiful, uh, and we just have the core version. So there we enter the commands. So advantage of server core is hardware resource conversation and reduce disk space, reduce batch frequency, and reduce attacks surface. So more safety is available under the core operating system, core version of operating system. You remember when you were installing uh, and you're selecting your version, right? So when it is asked you to select which one you want to install, right? So after this, a screen came and it's asking you want to install the standard version, or you want to start data center with GUI, or data center core, right? So you can do that core at the time of installation, but I didn't ask you to select the core because you're not going to get anything out of it. You have to run all the commands at that point. So you just have chosen the graphical user interface, and we can convert that later on into the core version. Um, Server core is now the default installation option, as I mentioned. So GUI tools can be added and removed using the Windows PowerShell commands. So Windows PowerShell commands is I just have showed you the blue screen. So at that blue screen, type in different commands you're going to learn in this course. So new server manager includes comprehensive remote administration tools. Remote administration tools means if I make this server remote desktop enable, right? So I can manage the server from another machine, right? So how can I do that? So if I turn on my another machine, let me see if I can officially. If I go to another machine, for instance, so remote desktop is a useful utility most frequently used by the network admin. Well, it helps with all you have the virtual machine, right? So all the servers are just are far one click away from each other, right? So sometimes we need to perform some changes on one machine. So while sitting on another machine as a network admin, so if you're sitting on the server 2 as a network admin, and you want to manage the things from server 2 to server, another server, you just have to install server 1, for instance. So you still can do that. So that's some setting I have done for some other labs. calculator.
2 घंटे हो रहे हैं, 4 घंटे नहीं, 7।
They have noisy desk. Anyways, we cannot just control everyone, right? So here, if I go to all server, right? From here, there is server. So it found the server. So this is the Kerberos target resolution. That's Kerberos is basically security, server security, right? So all you can do.
रैकोड एक्सीडेंट हो गया है।
Turn off and on. Okay, and then I'm going to turn on the second server.
Immigration, yeah?
मैडम आप वासियां ले आंदी है, मैडम आप वासियां ले आंदी है।
क्यों?
यही लगातार पढ़ाई आंदी है, यही लगातार पढ़ाई आंदी है शुरू तो।
क्यों? मैं समझा नहीं।
मैं क्या मैडम आप वासियां ले आंदी है।
हाँ। क्यों?
थक की।
Oh wait, so it's taking a while anyways. I'll come back to this machine in a while. Okay, so we can do the remote desktop. I'll show you in a few minutes how to do the remote desktop. Well, we can do the remote desktop for any server, whether it is a core server or a GUI-based server, right? So you can use the minimal server interface, a setting that removes some of the most hardware-intensive elements from the GUI. So the middle ground between the server core and full GUI installation. If you think your server machine is quite slower and your resources are not good enough to take the whole server load, you can use the minimal server interface. It is something between the server core and the full GUI versions. Right now you have a full GUI version installed. So administrators are left with essential tools like the server manager, MMC communications, device manager, and Windows PowerShell. Those are the managers.
ਇੰਨੇ ਕੋਡ ਮੈਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ
नहीं 3 4 5
34 ਜਵਾਰਾਂ 34 55 ਦਾ
किमें
हाँ तो सारे कर गए
Okay, so use the minimal version, right? So how you can do that? If you go to the remove roles in feature and you use the user interface and infrastructure and you select their graphical management tool, infrastructure and server graphical shell, then it will
ਗੇਟ
remove
ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ
your minimal
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਲਾ ਤੇ
yes, it will give you the minimal graphical configuration, so you can go there and it's really easy. You can get there. So server manager has an option, manage, add roles and feature. So from add roles and features, you can add and remove any roles. So remote desktop service, you can enable it, or you can go with add roles and features. So there is some features like
ਗਰਮਾਲੇ ਖਾਣ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਫੇਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਪਾਣਾ ਬਤਾਇਆ ਤੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਦਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ
wait, can you mute yourself?
ਮਾਫੀ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਥੋੜੇ ਆਹੀ ਕਰ ਰਹਾ ਯਾਰ ਕੰਮ
Twinkle, can you mute yourself? Well, the people are attending the class while they're walking and driving, you know. But this is how you cannot do the labs like that. You cannot attend the class when you are mobile and you're working and you're doing something else. It's not a kind of thing, right? So you have to be in front of people, right? So you're walking, you're working, you're in factory, or you're in shop, or you're doing your shopping and driving. It's not really possible to run all those things together, you know. So you can select from add, remove filters, user interface and infrastructure. So from there you can remove the features which you want to remove. User interface, for instance, or any other features which you don't like to keep it in your server. So it can be added or it can be removed, right? So check it out what you like to have. We haven't installed anything new there yet, but we will install some features later on, and then we will remove some features and something like that. I'm telling you the method how you can do that once you all set up with your Windows. So using features on demand allow to optimize the resource utilization by removing files related to unused Windows features stored in Windows WinSX as directory. So it permanently removes those features using Windows PowerShell command. So PowerShell commands, if you run this PowerShell command, uninstall Windows feature. So uninstall Windows feature, install visibility feature. Those are the two key parameters, the key commands which we use in PowerShell to modify roles in feature for server operating system or any Windows operating system, not only the server.
हिंदी पंजाबी चलती है सारे जाने आए कर दे
I think everybody is in the waiting. No one is in the waiting list. Everybody is in the queue.
No, ma'am, we are just listening you.
Okay. Thank you. So what we can do, if you want to run this command at this point, I can do that, but that is will remove the GUI feature from the server. Okay. So if you Windows install Windows feature, we will use at the time install Windows feature. Windows feature. What feature? Just I have showed you on add remove tool of our server manager. So server, which feature you want to? You may need to install server GUI shell or something, right? So if you need to remove, then you have to write uninstall instead of saying install. So Windows feature can be installed and uninstalled using, if you write install here, it's going to install the feature, but you don't write the remove button. If you want to uninstall some of the features, if you have already installed in your server managers or your desktop, so you can use uninstall Windows. This is the format of PowerShell, right? So this exactly PowerShell appears like it's not a case sensitive, but you can adapt the method as it is written here. First letter is capital and second letter. So this is noun. This is verb, basically verb noun. Verb noun. Okay. So this is noun. So most of the PowerShell commands appears like verb noun. Right? We will use PowerShell frequently as we move on in this course. So server GUI shell that will remove or step off your GUI interface. So if you attempt to enable the features in future, the system will download it from the Windows update or from an image file you specify. I think upgradation isn't an option that's given you at the time when you were installation performing installation. There was a custom installation for server. If something is coming from server 28 or something is coming older version, this is the release job, right? So this is the release job installment, right? Release to Windows Server 2012 release to, that is the version name, right? So if you were using 2012 already, older version, 2008 older version, then you can adapt this upgrade. Otherwise, we just go with the custom installation. Just in case if you need to do the upgrade prediction for any reason, then you have to, like, you're running 2012 server, right? Windows 2012 Windows server, or you're running Windows 2008 server, right? So you are managing your network by using this network management, user accounts, DNS, Active Directory, all those things you were running on Windows Server 2008. And then you decided to migrate. This is what we call under network setup and under server environment, we call it migration. What is the migration? Migration means moving from one operating system or lower version of operating system to higher operating system, right? So this is what we call migration. Right? So you migrate. When you're migrating, you need some tools to upgrade your system. So like migration of migrate application files, setting old operating systems to the new operating system. Just like you're moving home from like when you purchase a new home and you moving out from older place to the newer one, right, which is the bigger than the older or better than the older, uh, then what do? You don't leave your all this garbage in whatever you have it. You like it, you love it. That's your personal stuff, right? You take everything from the older one. Hey, I'm going to take everything from my old home to the newer one, right? So that is exactly happening in this setup. So you whatever you was carrying under your Windows 2008 setup, you can migrate it, your files, settings, all that stuff to the newer version. So to minimize the risk involved in this complex procedure, administrator must perform some backup and be able to troubleshoot the problems that may arise. Okay, so upgrade paths has very limited upgrade path. You can upgrade from 2008 or you can upgrade from 2008 release to 64-bit version only, or you can upgrade from server 2012 version. For all other for all other Windows version in addition, you will have to perform clean installation, not upgrade. So preparation for upgrades, check hard drive compatibility, check disk space, confirm that software is signed, check application compatibility, then purchase the selected resources. You have to purchase, right? Perform backup. Um, so insert the Windows Server installation DVD when your current server is still running and runs the setup program again. So that this installation program will run same way as a clean installation, except that which type of installation do you want page, and you must select the upgrade on that page as I mentioned earlier, right? So the setup program will provide a compatibility report whether it is able to upgrade or not. So once you have selected the upgrade, the first option, right? Then you know check the compatibility whether your system is coming from
मैं
2008
ਉਹਨੂੰ
or
ਕਹੀ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੌਣ
2012. So
ਲੱਗਿਆ
you have
ਕਹਿੰਦਾ
to
ਆਉਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ
perform
ਖੋਲਣਾ ਬਾਹਰ
backup. All right. So question if you have, I think I'll tell you this one to. I think I can finish it. Yes, just few minutes. So how you can migrate the roles when you are migrating the roles means you have assigned different roles to support the server. So migration is performed is a preferred method of replacing an existing server with the running Windows Server release to Server 2012 release 2. So migration basically copies the vital information from an existing server to a clean Windows Server release 2 installation. So upgrade restrictions do not apply to the migration. So remember, upgrade and migration are two different things, right? So you upgrade the things. So means you ask the Windows Server change the version from older to the newer, but you have to apply the migration in order to transfer all the information or migrate all the roles from older to newer. So you can migrate between versions, platforms, edition, physical and virtual instances. So for instance, you have a virtual machine server now, right? So later on, you got a job as a network admin and you need to do more hands-on on your new job testing scenarios. So you may migrate uh, your uh, your virtual machine to the physical machine, right? So server migration is different from workstation migration. So migrate roles or role services individually. So migration guide exists for different roles supported by Windows Server 2012. Some migration requires the use of Windows Server migration tools. Windows Server migration tools inside your toolbox under the administration toolbox, or you can find it there as well, right? So PowerShell, you can go from here as well. You can go from here, this blue parallelogram. So backup option is here. You can perform the backup. Yes, a question.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So Windows Server migration tools you can use to migrate your work. What are the steps to install server migration tool on the destination server running Windows Server? Create a distribution folder and copy an appropriate version of tools for the server source and copy the distribution folder to the source server and then register the Windows Server migration tool. So migration tools, you need to add it in your server toolbox. So use migration guide to migrate the roles and features, ensure salary and everything. So migration guide elements like some has an overview, some migration requirements, pre-migration task, migration procedure, post-migration, just in case for the people who are moving from server 2000, older server to the new operating system. Okay, all right, so that's all for today. I think should be good enough to swallow and digest, right?
Okay, ma'am.
So it's swallowable, right? Digestible, the information we had it today.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So it's something we can do it, right? It's not something like which is not possible to perform. It's easy, but if before that you might be thinking, hey, how can I have a server machine on my Windows 10 operating system? Let me see one more thing before I shut down the machine. One second. I'm gonna do this one because I turn it off. So when you join the remote desktop, you should have the server, both server 1 and 2, right? So like I have right now, I am on server 2, right? So I want to go to the server 1. So all you need to do, you right click all server in add server, right? Add server, and then I have this DNS role assigned, but I'll remove it to teach you again those things. So this is coming from like my previous course I recently completed with other sections. So here, what you're gonna do, you enter your server name, what you're looking for, like your server 2 or server 1 if you are on, and then it will list the server name, and then you click to add it here. It appears like this. Okay. So once this appears, right now I am on server 2, but I can go to the server, right click it, and I'm gonna say remote desktop, right? So remote desktop management will help me to, so I'm gonna enter the password on server 1. Oops. Not good. Why? Did I change it? So this is a remote desktop connection between two server. Authentication error. Let me check on the server 1 if I have added server 2 here. Local server. I have to add the server 1, server 2. So that's a selection machine. So I'm going to add it here. So you search it like this, okay? And then it's going to be added. So I should be able to do remote desktop from here. So right click and remote desktop. Okay, I changed the oh, network is connected. Anyways, I'll check it by the next class and let you know how to do the RDP on your computer. If you have question, you can ask at this point before I leave. So you all set the priorities once again, right? So you take a screenshot attendance, okay?
Ma'am, I'm just saying we are currently setting it up for submitting to Dropbox.
Oh, you already submitted?
No, ma'am, I'm just setting it up for submission.
I did not understand, sorry.
I'm saying that I am setting it up for the submission in the Dropbox.
Okay, awesome. Good. Good to know. Okay, so you should be able to finish it. It's not something a long job. Just once you know what you need to do, right? So it becomes pretty straightforward. So let me mark your attendance. So this is basically day 4 and 5. 2 classes are being together. Akash Deep,
Present, ma'am.
Amandeep Kaur, Amanveer Singh, Amanveer Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Arjun,
Present, ma'am.
Arshdeep Singh, Gurinder Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Gurleen Kaur,
Present, ma'am.
Gurmanjot Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Harmeet Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Jaspal Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Jatanpreet Kaur, Jobanpreet Singh,
Yes, ma'am.
Jobanpreet Singh, number 2.
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Karanbir Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Kulvinder Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Lovepreet Kaur,
Present, ma'am.
Lovepreet Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Manisha,
Present, ma'am.
Manjot Kaur,
But ma'am,
Manjot Kaur number 2, uh, Mahanpreet Kaur,
Present, ma'am.
Muskan,
present ma'am.
Neha,
Present ma'am.
Parminder Kaur. That's a pretty big class, you know. It should be split into two sections. Twinkle Jot Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Rajvinder Singh. That's it. Robin.
Present, ma'am. Present.
Okay. Robinpreet Kaur,
Present ma'am.
Simarjeet Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Sukhmanpreet Kaur,
Present ma'am.
Sukhpreet Kaur,
Present ma'am.
Sumanpreet Kaur,
Present, ma'am.
Vanshika,
Present ma'am.
Bhavesh Chopra, uh, Manveer Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Sarvopari,
Present, ma'am.
Ivjot,
Present, ma'am.
Tapil.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Are you all set, Tapil? You good with starting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Bhavesh
Yes.
present.
Okay, good. Divjot,
Present ma'am.
Komalpreet,
Present, ma'am.
Nivjot,
Present ma'am.
Nivjot number 2,
Present ma'am.
Navneet,
Present ma'am.
Tushar,
Present, ma'am.
Mohit,
Present, ma'am.
Sahil,
Present, ma'am.
Ranveer,
Present, ma'am.
Tanu,
Present, ma'am.
Shehbaz,
Present, ma'am.
Shruti, Monisha,
Present, ma'am.
Shahina,
Present, ma'am.
Manisha or Monisha. There are two girls, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Pretty much just sounds similar. I think yesterday there was confusion, right? One of you were not there, and then, anyways, so you requested to fix it. I fixed it.
Ma'am, I was present. Monisha was present yesterday.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's another Manisha, right?
Manisha is present, ma'am. Manisha is
Oh.
also present yesterday, ma'am.
Yesterday she was present as well, right?
Yeah,
Now
ma'am.
I thought there's only one girl under this school. Now I came up with two girls. Pretty much same. Harjot,
Present, ma'am.
Karan Beer, Kamal Paul,
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Vikrant,
Present, ma'am.
Anish,
Present, ma'am.
we all set Anish, right?
Yes,
Alright.
ma'am.
Okay, so I just have hit the save buttons. just in case if you doubt it, then you can check it at your
Ma'am,
side. Please check it at your side,
ma'am,
please.
Parminder is present.
Did you check at your side? Listen, please check at your side under the
Okay.
attendance tab. So otherwise, it's difficult to repeat the same thing. Well, thank you all for joining me today. Hope this session is useful for everyone. Please do let me know about your feedback. How did you find this session? Did you get the things done, or you understand what you need to do? So before you leave, it would be good if you put your comments or your feedback. Enjoy the rest of the day. Have fun. Enjoy your weekend. Hope to see you next time, next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, ma'am. It was very big class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.